Just in to me through the local guitar shop I do work through for local stuff. Peavey Butcher. The owner says, please retube, pots scratchy, input jack acting up. Never had this model. Be interesting to see what's going on with it. I hope it's worth the price of a retube. If a full retube is necessary, we'll see. I don't know if this Butcher is going to be worth the cost of repair. Given the age of it, it looks like 80s Peavey. But, you know, it may be fantastic. Let's open it up and see what's going on with it. Like I said in the video about the channel, this is some guy's amp. It's his, you know, it could be his pride and joy. It could be the core of his sound. I take it very seriously, even if it's not a 69 Marshall or a 66 Fender or a 63 Vox or whatever your holy grail is, a 59 Bassman, for instance. I will treat this just the same as I did in the previous videos, Bogner Shiva, as you've seen me do on vintage amps as well. Well, getting the chassis out was an awful lot of unexpected fun. The chassis itself weighs about as much as a twin reverb, the whole damn thing with speakers. And that front metal mesh that you see up there was binding on the chassis. The thing would not come out. It had deformed and was compressed. So I took the two screws off the side that hold the panel in place, and the cleats that those screws go into had broken off inside. The whole thing was just a Charlie Foxtrot. I'm going to kick that one down the road and worry about that when it's time to put it back together. I'm not a fan of those metal meshes on Peaveys. The 5150s are really bad about it. They have very little clearance between the metal and the front of the chassis, and that metal often gets deformed and things get all scraped up and bound up. It'd been nice if they'd left about another almost 1/8 of an inch of a gap. Would have looked great on stage and may get these things in and out a lot easier. But anyway, it's out. Let's take a look at it. I'll tell you what, the cabinet actually weighs more than the chassis with its transformers. All the weight that I was expecting to be the iron is just that massively overbuilt cabinet with like 2-inch thick sections of wood. No need for it to be that rugged. Just makes for a tremendous amount of weight. They should call it the chiropractor. All right, so we've got a missing nut and a loose speaker jack. And that looks like a switch graft. No big deal to fix that. The whole thing's got a lot of dust. They've got these riveted transformers, very similar to what is used on the 5150, 6505s. I wonder if this is also a James Brown design. James Brown. James Brown. Let's flip it over. It has some overall similarities, like the output tubes board, which you'll see in a minute, to the 5150. It's also got more than its fair share of spider webs in there. Good thing I'm not too squeamish. It's got the standard quick and actually fine in a Peavey. The filter caps all look okay, though this one, no, that's got a bad solder joint on there. I can see the leads wiggle. This board needs to be brought up. Yeah, that glue gave way, and there's been strain on those solder joints. This 1000 microfarad 50 volt cap has got a bulge at this end. Time to recap. I will talk to the owner about that. That fuse looks like it's loose. Let me see if there's any voltage in there waiting for me before I start touching that. Now that I have meter leads again. No voltage inside. Cannot have sounded very good with that fuse halfway in, halfway out. If it's got dirty pots, no big deal. They're open frame accessible. And that way these are better quality than you find on the later 6550, 6505s and 5150s. The input jacks are pretty crappy, but they probably clean up fine. I'll check the solder joints. Let me show you the other stuff. All right, the output tube board is very much like you find in the 5150. Everything's top-sided. I'll measure these. They look okay. I don't see any big problems. The solder joints I'll triple check. A little cap here that needs to be changed out. When the big electrolytic caps are that old and flaky, pretty much all the filter caps, including the little guys, need to be changed out. I'm not sure what's underneath this board. If the amp has no problems, I'm not going to find out. If it has problems, I will find out. There's going to be stuff on the other side of this board. I see some very large things. I think it's worthwhile to lift this up just for me to triple check. But first I need to get authorization from the owner. I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff that I commonly do, but I want to make sure that he knows what a filter cap job costs and what the benefits are and what the risks are of not doing it. I just looked this amp up, and 80s Peavey butchers are going for between about $600 and $700. So I think it'd be worthwhile to have the work done. In a lot of ways, it's better built than the 5150. It's got 3 preamp tubes, 4 6L6s. I expect it to be fairly Marshall-esque, though I won't know until I play it, and I will not play it until it has been recapped and made safe to play. If the owner declines, I'm stopping. I'm not going to put $200 worth of 6L6s in this thing just to see the filter caps die and take them out, etc., etc. If it sounds like I'm being the soup Nazi, no tone for you.